Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Zetacraft. In today's episode, I really want to work on my industrial district again, just because, well, we haven't been there for quite a while, so I just want to do some stuff over there. And if you already figured it out, I need sugarcane because I need paper to make more rockets. Yeah, I know, I have a pretty efficient creeper farm, but I don't have any way of actually getting sugarcane. Well, at least not in the most effective ways. But just before we fly over to the industrial district, there's one thing which I want to actually talk to you guys about. And that one thing would be this guy right here, which, if I'm not wrong, looks like a wandering trader. And guess what? I don't like those guys, so I'm not too pleased that I see one right here. But I'll forgive him if he has a good deal, I guess. Okay, William the Wandering Trader. Let's read. William the Wandering Trader would like to purchase this house for the small cost of all the leather he has. Okay, how much leather is that? Amazing wording. How much leather is that? Okay, not gonna lie, that's actually a pretty good decent amount. How much is this? Like, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stacks. That's not bad. I'm definitely taking this. William, you got this spot. You're welcome. And that's a done deal with William. You're a pretty good wandering trader, not gonna lie. Most of them are pretty rubbish, and most of them get decapitated by my axe. But you'll be fine, hopefully. Hopefully you're happy with that deal, William. If you're not, there's another option. Anyway, back to the point of the sugarcane farm. Yeah, I really desperately need to make one. And I was thinking on making the sugarcane farm on this side of the industrial district. Just because this area will most likely not be used for anything, big as, the sugarcane farm, so I think it will fit just perfectly. And still, this will obviously be an industrial sized sugarcane farm, so most likely after like about 1 or 2 harvests, I won't need to have the rest of the sugarcane for the whole season. So now I guess, let's hop into a quick building time lapse. And the sugarcane farm is finally finished. Not gonna lie, it's a colossal sized farm. Not gonna lie, I've never made this big of a farm before in my life. It's been my first time, and it took like 1.5 hours. So it wasn't too bad. But I mean, it's very efficient. It's great. Especially, it's extremely satisfying to watch. Like this. Oh, all the sugarcane being broken down. How satisfying. I mean, just look how satisfying it is to just watch the sugarcane being broken down. So satisfying. Well, at least for me. I don't know about anyone else. And hey, the sugarcane farm is all cleared, and now we can wait for like, I don't know, about another 20 minutes until it all grows back, and then do it again. But hey, we don't need to, because this farm produces so much sugarcane. Like, by the way, I only activated it twice before, recording this part, and it produced this much. I think that's pretty good. And I should probably show you guys, well, not show you, but explain to you guys how it actually works. So each time the flying machine bounces off that side and comes back this way, the sugarcane gets broken down and falls on top of the sand or the leaves sometimes. And below the sand, there are some hopper minecarts which go, to that side and come back and collect all this sugarcane, which is dropped down onto the sand, and then get dispensed into these, dispensed into these droppers. And there's a little circuit that I have, and sugarcane just flies, well, not flies out, but just gets dropped down from the droppers into this water stream, and goes into the sorting system. But as you can see, this farm's very efficient, and it gets overloaded very easily. That's not good. I'll probably try to figure out another way to actually sort out all the sugarcane from this sugarcane farm. And not gonna lie, the addition of the sugarcane farm actually makes this place look a bit bigger than it actually is, and it looks nice, I guess. And I also came up with the conclusion that if I have a creeper farm and a sugarcane farm, I guess I should be selling, I don't know, maybe rockets or just, gunpowder and sugarcane by themselves. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna be doing that. It'll produce a bit more diamonds and it won't be too hard to restock because, we have the farms for both of them. And still, there are still some couple more things which I want to do in this episode. First one would be to actually move my nether portal from there, just move it up there. Why? Because, when did we make this nether portal? What? Episode 1, episode 2, something like that, right in the beginning. And it just has been, and it's just been there for since episode 1 or 2. And, I think it needs an upgrade. So I want to move it up there and just make it look nicer. But then on the other hand, I don't know how the city will look after that will happen. So I might not do that and for the next 7 episodes. And the other things would be, for example, finishing off these 2 buildings right here. So we could just, have this little area, or this little town area finished. It'll look great. And the last part would be to actually add in Armistance to the town. Reason why, if you don't remember, we got donated 9 stacks of leather, which, hopefully will be enough for a couple of Armistance. And I also have been donated a couple more heads, like them right here, and even maybe make some pathways going down into the main part of the city. Actually, I wouldn't call this part the main part of the city, but you get what I mean. And even maybe find out who the actual owner of William the Wandering Trader actually is. But anyway, I think it's a good time to hop into another time lapse. And here we go. And the 2 new buildings are finally finished. And yeah, as you can probably see, I went for a different type of building material. As you can see, I used terracotta instead of materials which include stairs and slabs. And the reason why blocks that contain stairs and slabs are much easier to make roofs out of is because these diagonal buildings aren't, fully diagonal, as weird as it is. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense. They are fully diagonal, only they have like a weird thing with them. For example, when it comes to this section, I guess the very first layer of the diagonal roofs, I guess, they always contain a slab right here on these corners. I don't know why. I seriously don't know why, but it makes sense. They just do. And I don't know why. I'm gonna assume it's something to do with them not being, it's just fully diagonal and then being, on a 2-block center. No, not 2-block center, but a 2-block diagonal than a 1-block diagonal, most likely, but I don't know. But anyway, I tried to fix it with, instead of worrying about the actual side of the roof, and just make the actual... Actually, how do you call this part of the roof? I'm not entirely sure. But have this part of the roof look a little bit weirder than the actual sides. And the reason why? Well, that's simple. People don't look on top of the roofs, only the actual sides. Oh yeah, and as you can probably see, these are the only 2 buildings so far in this town that actually contain chimneys. Yeah, that's an oopsie on my part. I kind of forgot to add chimneys onto the other buildings. But But obviously, I'll be adding chimneys to the other buildings soon as well. I'm just a bit too tired because I spent a bit too much time making these buildings and the armor stands, which we're about to talk right now. And now, let's talk about the very first armor stand which I made in this town, the blacksmith. Not gonna lie, making this custom hammer out of armor stands doesn't look too bad for my first try. Not gonna lie, I had no clue how to make it, so I was just going off with materials which would look good for the hammer, like the stick and the iron ingot for the actual, iron part of the hammer. And as you can see, this blacksmith is forging up a iron sword, which is most likely gonna put out on his display out here where the armor stands are. And the very second armor stand which I've made in my village was this Ricky armor stand. As you can see, he's just, walking around this pathway, just turning his head around this corner. Why? I don't know, because I thought it would look nice to have, movement around the city, or town, whatever you want to call it. And as we walk down the street, we could see 2 more armor stands here. First, the Wandering Trader, and then, I don't actually remember whose head this is. And Shadow Ginger's head. Yeah, let's talk about the Wandering Trader first. So, I thought about making kind of like a homeless person out in the streets, and the very first choice went into my head was the Wandering Trader. Why? Because, well, he's a Wandering Trader. Who likes Wandering Traders? Hopefully you don't. So, I thought it would be a nice addition to actually have him just sitting here after losing both of his llamas somewhere. Huh. I wonder if we'll be able to find them one day. And now, moving on to Shadow Ginger's house, maybe? Yeah, basically inspiration I had behind this would be kind of like a character, opening a door and kind of like widening their arms out, kind of like when you just, open the door, okay, with the perfect example, but if you take the door this way, oh no, wait, no, wrong way, like this, yeah, right. And then we just open the door like this, and then you just have like your hands out on both sides, kind of like welcoming the world or whatever. That's kind of like what was my inspiration behind it. And hello, zombie. So anyway, back to the point. Yeah, that's pretty much my idea behind this armor stand. And now, moving down the street over here, we can see a fight scene. And my initial inspiration behind this fight scene was actually this trident which I was able to get somehow without buying it, surprisingly. And I kind of wanted a drowned member, from the seas to fight, someone from the Nether, because water and lava don't go too well. They make obsidian, don't they? Exactly. And yes, as you can see, this is a netherite sword. I especially made a netherite sword for just this scene. Was it worth it? Maybe. I don't know. I have quite a lot of ancient debris. I think it was worth it. Oh yeah, and I should probably explain what these 2 guys are. Yeah, these are supposed to be the guards of this city. Yeah, these are gonna be the guards. Why? because Enderman heads are quite easy to get, and I think they look kind of neat. And now, going on from this fight scene, we're gonna go to this. Okay, wait, what? Where's his head? Well, this person's supposed to have a head, but I guess they don't have a head. I don't know what happened to the head, huh? Okay, well, I'll get them a head soon. Okay, basically, he's supposed to be surprised that there's a fighting going on, and kind of like screaming for guards to stop the fight, something like that. And then here's Maya just walking down the streets like nothing's going on. And then moving up over here, we have this cave dweller humanoid person walking this way, and mindless walking out of the shop, tavern area, restaurant type building, soon made maybe, if I'll be bothered enough, hopefully. Yeah, that's pretty much where he's coming from. And there's a no, these aren't these aren't hoglins, no, they're piglins. Yeah, just a piglin walking down the street with a dog golden carrot, apparently, because I gave him one. You're welcome. And then, as we enter in the library, we have a librarian just reading a book, just like a Geek Squeak reading a book right here. And yes, I made sure for him not to have any shoes on. And, if I'm not wrong, our very last armor stand in this city so far would be this Christmas, no, not mindless, whoopsie, my armor stand over here, which I had. And I was like, hey, let's make Santa just chilling up on this overhang, I guess. Just looking up into the sun, I guess. And yes, from the time lapse, you probably have seen that I did try to give Santa Maya his beard, but I didn't give him his beard. Why? Because I wasn't able to. I tried my best, but I just wasn't able to. But I do know that Maya himself is actually an amazing armor stand artist, so if you're, watching this, I would appreciate it if you could give yourself a beard. I think it would look quite funny. And still, I just don't think he looks right without his beard. So if you can make him one, I would appreciate it a lot. So yeah, this was episode 9 of Zetacraft. And if you enjoyed, I'm glad to hear. And goodbye, guys.